that stuff all weekend long. But today, for the next short while, it's Star Trek time. All right? Now, I'd like to tell you a story. Pipsqueak. I want to tell you a story of obsession. When I was a little boy, 9, 10, 11, I discovered the original series of Star Trek. Okay? I'd come home every day from school, 5 o'clock, Channel 11, Pittsburgh, and I would watch Star Trek. And I was enthralled. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of nerdgasm I was experiencing. I'd never seen anything like it. You know what I would do? I would take a cassette recorder. Most of you are like, what the hell is a cassette recorder? It's this little box, and it has magnetic tape, and it records sound. So I would take the tape recorder, and I would sit it by the television speaker, my 19-inch black and white television, and I would record the episode that would air every day. But then is where it really gets weird. Then I would take the tape recorder, and I would put it under my pillow at night, and listen to the Star Trek episodes as I went to sleep at night. So consequently, I memorized entire episodes, like word for word. I could quote entire episodes, and even I could even hear the sound, the music cues, and the sound effects, and the inflections of their voices. I absorbed Star Trek. I got my mom to teach me how to use a sewing machine so I could make my own uniforms. I started trying things that I never tried before. Like, I'd never built anything, so I didn't know if I could do that or not, but I was so inspired by this show that I wanted to build communicators. Right? And so I would sit in front of the television every day as the episode was on, and I would take balsa wood and duct tape and glue and metal and plastic and anything I could get my hands on and try to make communicators and phasers and tricorders. I would strap cardboard. Hey, get over here. You guys, give it up for dear Erica. Yay! She's one of our voice actress guests this weekend, so make sure and come by and see her this weekend. Come see someone. Make yourself comfortable. And where was I? Oh yeah, I wanted to build things so badly and try things because of Star Trek. And what I found is that I was kind of good at building stuff. I was kind of good at making things, and I would even go to school. And some of you probably will relate to this. I would go to school, but I didn't want people to think I was a nerd. But I wanted so much to display my love of Star Trek. So what do you do, right? You know what I used to do? I had this blue windbreaker, and on the inside flap, in here, I had sewn the Star Trek logo. So no one on the outside could see it, but I knew it was there. And I'd walk along, and like if I saw any of my friends, you know, that I knew were nerds like me, I'd go, yo. It's like, just to let them know, I'm representing. I'm, you know, got it close to the heart, right? So, that was when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 25, and then I got into college, and whenever it was time to have a Halloween party at the college, guess what I would dress up as? Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk. Any chance I got. And so now fast forward about 2 years ago, I was invited by a fan production to direct an episode of a Star Trek fan production called Starship Farragut. Now for those of you that are Star Trek fans, you know that the Enterprise was one in a fleet of 12 starships. The Yorktown, Lexington, Constellation, Potemkin, Hood, Excalibur, blah, 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 and the Farragut. So these guys had made up their own little fan adventure of the missions of the Farragut, this other ship. They had their own captain, their own first officer, and they asked me to come and help them make an episode. And something inside me revived. And I remembered how much I loved that show. And an idea started forming. All my life, I had always dreamed of playing Captain Kirk. I started acting because of Star Trek, because I saw these guys making these great stories, and I wanted to do that. So I started getting involved in school plays, church programs, community theater, anything I could do to get into acting. Most of the things that I do now professionally, I started because I was in love with Star Trek, and I wanted to try it. Whether it was making a costume, or writing a story, or shooting a film with the kids in the neighborhood, or building sets, or making pointed ears, or props, or acting. My college degree is even in film, because I wanted to do that my whole life. So after I helped this group make this episode, I started getting this idea, wouldn't it be fun if I could bring together a bunch of people that are really skilled professionals in their own fields, whether it's as a cameraman or a lighting director or a makeup artist, but find people that have a lifelong love of the original series of Star Trek. So that's what I did. And then we got ourselves a 10,000 square foot facility in Jacksonville, Florida, where we proceeded to build the entire soundstage from the original series. All of it. The bridge, the big bending corridor, bless you, the briefing room, the sick bay, the transporter room, all of it. And year and a half ago, we shot our first episode. I gathered together people that I felt were good actors, because I felt that was something that's very important. A lot of fan productions, they're fans, but they don't necessarily know how to light or shoot camera or act or edit. So I wanted to try to bring the best of all these people together. So a lot of you know my dear friend Todd Habercorn plays Mr. Spock for me. And how many of you know a voice actor named Chuck Huber? Let's see, who did he play? He played Tucker in Full Metal Alchemist, the guy that transmuted his daughter. Bad guy. And he was in Yu Yu Hakusho and Soul Eater. He plays Stein in Soul Eater. He's a great, great guy. Amazing actor, great voice actor. He plays Dr. McCoy. And who in here can tell me who played Scotty in the original series of Star Trek?
I know.
Who is it? You got it, buddy. James Doohan was the man that played Scotty. All right? The original Scotty. His son, Chris Doohan, plays his dad's role in my show. How many of you ever watched Mythbusters? Grant Imahara from Mythbusters plays Sulu. And we have a great bunch of people together. So about a year and a half ago, we did our first episode, and it was a sequel to an original series episode. And we actually even had a guest star who played a character in the original series 45 years earlier, and he reprised his role. It was called Pilgrim of Eternity. And did you see it? How many of you have anybody here seen Pilgrim of Eternity? Excellent. The rest of you go home right now and watch. We put that one out just about 1 year ago. Actually, this weekend, 1 year ago, at Phoenix Comic-Con, as we stand here in Phoenix, Comic-Con is going on this weekend, right now, and we premiered Pilgrim of Eternity last year there. About 3 or 4 months ago, we premiered our second episode. And we had a very special guest star. I love this girl. She's like, She knows. How many of you have seen the second episode? Not quite as many. Well, we're going to show some of it today. How about that? In fact, maybe we'll show all of it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a tease if I let it get to a particular place and then went, turn it off, turn it off. I will tell you, since we're going to watch it together, I will tell you that the guest star is none other than Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, and I'm not going to tell you what color he is, but he's not flesh colored. Here's the very exciting thing. I'll just tell you now, and we'll talk a little bit after. But 1 week from this Sunday, we're premiering episode 3. You guys, OMG.
What?
It's off the charts.
OMG.
I wish we could premiere it here, my darling. But listen, let me tell you guys something. How many of you would say, yeah, I like the original series of Star Trek, like the original, Captain Kirk, right, Mr. Spock, the original. How many of you remember an episode called Mirror Mirror? Spock with the goatee, remember? And it was this vicious, barbaric parallel universe where they advanced in rank by killing the guy in front of them, and it was they all wore daggers, and it was a very sadistic empire. Our episode that we shot in March, that a lot of my dear friends right here in uniform, this is some of our cast and crew down here. Our episode is a continuation of Mirror Mirror. And I'm telling you, we spared no expense, you guys. You're going to die. I died. And then he brought me back to life. But it's amazing. And we've been releasing, have you seen any of the photos? Anybody? We've been little by little releasing photos on our website and our Facebook page. Remember Kirk's cabin girl? The lovely lady that was his girl yeah, Marlena? Yes. We got an actress who's like the spitting image of Barbara Luna, the original actress. This lovely lady at the very end of the row down here in command gold, stand up, Ginger. This is our wardrobe supervisor, you guys. And I don't want to spend too much time on the 3rd episode right now because I want to show you the 2nd. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But she spared no expense. I almost drove this poor girl insane. Because if you remember, Mirror Mirror was in the 2nd season. They were still wearing velour. They were still wearing the velour uniforms, not these 3rd season uniforms. So if we were going to continue that episode, none of our regular uniforms would work. So we needed to get velour uniforms. Not just velour, but the right color velour. Just the right color gold, and just the right color blue. So this poor girl scoured the planet to find velour, which is not as easy to find anymore as you would think. And then she had to find it in white so she could custom dye it to the proper colors, which was not easy. She and I spent many nights on Skype back and forth where she would send me pictures and I would go, that's a little too green. That's too dark. There's too much teal in that blue. She hates me right now. So you guys keep it. If you see her rushing at me with a weapon, now you'll know why, and you can stop her. All right? But you remember Kirk had that shiny gold vest, and all the little details on it, all of it. We replicated all of it. And you have not lived a life until you've seen Todd Habercorn with a beard, with a goatee. So it's going to be premiering next Sunday, and guess where? Sydney, Australia. Sydney, Australia has a big convention there, and they're flying me and 6 of the cast members over to premiere it there next Sunday. And it will go live online next Sunday at, I think, noon Eastern Standard Time. That's our time, right? We're in Eastern now, right? Your time, Eastern, all over the place. So, before we talk any more about that or any other questions, let's watch a Star Trek episode together. What do you say? If I could have you kill those lights.